Every list of things to do instead of doom scrolling was written by someone with energy. That's what's wrong with all of them, and the reason that doesn't work for you. Because here's when you actually need one. It's about half 11, you're in bed, and you've been on your phone for a while. You're not sure how long, and you're not even enjoying it. You stopped enjoying it ages ago. And then there's this little moment where you go, I should do something else. I've got that book right there. I bought it and everything. And then you look at the book, and you look at your phone, and you keep scrolling. Because it isn't a fair fight. You got nothing left. It's the only thing that doesn't cost you anything. And I started thinking about this recently because I read most nights. It's generally one of the better things I do. It settles me down, my attention feels different the next day. I like it. And there are still nights where I don't do it at all. What happens is I get this urge to have a quick look on YouTube, not to watch anything specific, just to kind of see what's there. And that's the bit that gets me, because now I'm not scrolling, I'm looking for something. I'm searching for a good video, and that feels like a task. It feels productive somehow. And then you cannot really quit halfway through that task, because then you did all the searching for nothing. So I keep going. And meanwhile, the book's right there the whole time. Reading would have been better. I know that. And I've known it every single time. When you think of productive things like reading a book, learning an instrument, going for a walk, journaling, or taking up a hobby or a project, all of these are good on 11 AM on a Saturday when you've slept, you've eaten, and you feel like you have the energy for it. But that's typically not when you look up the advice of how to stop doom scrolling. You're in a completely different energy state at that point. And that's what nobody mentions. You don't scroll because it's fun. You already stopped enjoying it 40 minutes ago, but you just can't bring yourself out of that dopamine hole. So those lists that just list 7 random things to help you stop scrolling, they don't account for the fact that you're completely out of energy. And whether you want to read, go to the gym, call someone, you need the energy for it. You're essentially out of PP on all your moves, and now you're only left to struggle. You literally know that from the game. The game just picks the move struggle for you. You don't even get to see your attacks anymore. It costs nothing and it does damage to yourself. That's the scroll. And then you feel lazy for it. It becomes this loop that you start fearing because you know, oh man, I'm gonna grab my phone again and this is gonna waste my time. And especially at night when you don't have energy. It's just a really insidious cycle. Because you never decided that you just wanted to lie down and waste 90 minutes of nothing. Often it's one small repeatable decision that I'll just have a quick look. I'll just see what's there. And then you're in searching mode, looking for a good video, not yet scrolling. And then you get into the loop I explained at the beginning of the video. So getting back to the Pokemon analogy here, you're essentially getting told that let's go take on all the gyms in Pokemon and you literally have no PP. How do you expect to win with only the move struggle? It doesn't matter whether it's read a novel, learn Spanish, go for a run, they're all equally difficult in that situation when you only have struggle. So being told the quote-unquote right answer when you can't do the right answer just makes you feel worse. Because had you seen this list at 11 AM on a Saturday with lots of energy and all your moves recovered, then yeah, you could read a book, you could go for a run. But at this stage, when you're completely depleted, you have 0 moves left, then it just hurts you more than it helps you. So what actually works in this situation? I have 2 moves for you, and they're of course very easy because they have to be. You need to learn a cheap move, not necessarily a good one, it just has to be slightly better than the scroll. And the obvious one is literally to put on a long form YouTube video, and then if you're into podcasts or audiobooks, you can proceed to that instead of just scrolling. So you still have some kind of stimulation, but it's just much less than being stuck in the dopamine hole. And then when you kind of drag yourself out a little bit, then you can do things like, let me just go for a 5-minute walk. Let me just sit in silence or with just music for a couple minutes. You see, there's this ladder to it. When you're at the bottom of the ladder, you cannot skip 20 steps and just decide that you're gonna clean your whole apartment. It doesn't work like that. And then second, all the advice you hear is about stopping. But when you get to the point of stopping, you're really already fighting the uphill battle, because that's much harder than actually going into the entry in the first place. The moment that really matters is 30 seconds earlier when you decided I'll just have a quick look. That's the moment you have to start catching before you actually decide to do that quick look. Because as soon as you start scrolling, you know it's game over. You know it's gonna be so much more difficult to get yourself back into it if you don't have the energy left, if you're just left there struggling. So really the one sentence, the one action to take away from this video is that your job is not to stop scrolling. It's to catch yourself saying, I'll just have a quick look. If you do that consistently, you'll significantly reduce your phone time. I can promise you that. And I'd love to hear from you. What's the small reasonable thing you'll tell yourself right before it goes wrong? Mine's, let me just have a quick look at YouTube.